Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We have for you today a short hobby table episode featuring some Archvillain Games models. There will be a more general hobby table episode later on this month, probably in a couple of days. But I want to put this out as a separate video because I want to talk about my experience using Speedpaints as well. So before we continue, please take a moment to like and subscribe. Would really appreciate that. And enjoy the video. Cheers. All right, so some of the work in progress that I have at the moment. We've got a couple of vampires, and this is from the Archvillain, what's it called? The Scarlet Scourge? Bloodright Scarlet Scourge. Yeah, so this is their October Patreon set. So it'll be available to everybody else in November. And there's a bunch of ghouls and demons and vampires, and it's all very ghouly, ghastly, and lovely. So what we have here, okay, so what I've done is I've printed these two out for a game that I have planned. I'm not sure whether I will have done the game by the time this video is released, but this is work in progress. Now, these are Vermilach vampires, and they come with a 25mm base. Now I've painted these both up in speed paints that you can see here. So we have Holy White, which is for the chest. I don't know whether you can see it on this one. Let's try and do a bit of a close-up. So on the sort of chest armor, and let me just rotate, sort of the back armor, sort of the upper torso armor, I've done with Holy White. Let's see if this get a bit. There you go. That's a better picture. So that definitely needs to be highlighted because the shadows and everything's not good enough. The back, I know, hasn't. Come on, focus. You get. The back hasn't really come out very well at all. On this one, the second model, again we used the Holy White for the chest. The chest plate, supposed to represent bones. You know, I think that's what they're trying to get at. And the back here. There you go. So these are purely speed paints at the moment. What other colours did I use? Well, Pallid Bone. This was used for the flesh. I was expecting something a little bit lighter, to be honest. It's like a very suntanned flesh. So again, I'm going to have to highlight this. Yeah, a little bit disappointed with the Pallid Bone. I was expecting a lighter shade. I mean, this looks dark even for flesh, and I wanted these guys to have a sort of whitish flesh. But Pallid Bone's still yellowy and orangey. Yeah. So what else? Hardened leather. This is for the sort of leather straps on the arms, the forearms, and also on the lower legs. Again, on the other figure, same kind of thing on the forearms and on the legs. Don't know whether you can see in there, but that is hardened leather. Not that much different from the Pallid Bone, which is very surprising, because when you look at the bottles, it looks like extremely different colours, doesn't it? The bone and the leather, but when they're actually painted, yeah, like you see here, if you look at the arms, it's not a huge amount of difference. So I'm having mixed feelings about these bloody speed paints. What else is there? So we've done the hardened leather. Okay, Slaughter Red. Now this is an amazing colour for blood, but it is very dark. So on my vampires, come on, focus. There you go. So I've used Slaughter Red on these sort of straps, or these pieces of cloth here. These symbolic sort of dangly bits, I don't know what you call them. It looks really nice. I mean, on the camera it looks a lot lighter than it is, maybe because of the light, but in the flesh or in the resin it's actually a lot darker than this, but on camera it does appear lighter, but it is very, very dark. So far I've got to highlight everything. It's the speed paints don't do what it says on the tin. It doesn't give a finished result. I mean, look at this. Terrible. This isn't a one-stop paint. It's See, look, again, there's that red. It looks really good. And I have to be honest, it's a really good representation of blood, but it is very dark. And like I say, on the video here, it's not actually showing what it's like in real life. In real life, it's a lot darker than what it's showing on the camera. But yeah, the slaughter red is used for those straps. What's next? Runic grey. Right, runic grey is actually the only one that I'm really happy with. So for the runic grey, I've done this guy's hair. And I don't think I need to actually highlight. Let's try and get it out of the light. Let's try and, excuse me. Yeah, so I don't think I actually need to highlight the runic grey at all. It's the one paint that's done what it's supposed to do. All the others are going to need further work. I also used runic grey on the base, on the stonework. I think it's supposed to be stone. Maybe it's supposed to be wood. I don't know. When I looked at the bases, I thought it was all stone, but looking through the camera, maybe that's supposed to be wood. But it would look a bit weird if that was wood and it's circled by stone. So I'll probably leave it all as stone. But yeah, runic grey. Again, for the base, I don't think I need to do anything else. I mean, if I wanted to do my best job, of course, I will do more highlights. But I think it's usable for the base there, and also on the base for this one, again, just runic grey. Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah, I think that's usable. Not perfect, but usable. Two colours left that I've used so far. Gravelord Grey and Grim Black. Right, Gravelord Grey is actually used for the sort of pillar of bats. I'm on focus. Now again, on camera, it actually looks a lot better. It looks with like better highlights just from the speed paint. But again, in real life, it's a lot darker than this. I think the light from the camera is giving a false representation. But it is a lot darker than I was expecting, and the highlights were not as good as I was expecting. So even the bats, I mean, I love these sculpts. It's like bat control. They're like floating, levitating on a pillar of bats. But again, I'm going to have to highlight these bats. Problem. And with speed paints, when you try highlighting, you never know whether it's going to reactivate or give problems. So, the clothes, the sort of cloak and the sleeves and the hood. This is the Grim Black color. Again, it's okay, but it's not. It's still very splotchy. Again, on the camera, the highlights look better than it actually is. And again, I'm going to have to redo sort of highlighting and layering and stuff. And here's the other guy. Again, the pillar of bats uses Gravelord Grey. And again, on camera, it looks better than it is. In real life, it's a lot darker. So I'm going to have to highlight all of those bats. And again, for his sort of clothing and sleeves is Grim Black. It is a darker shade, but still not good. So these are work in progress for a game, a project that I have in mind. And again, I'm not fully satisfied with the speed paints. They're not doing what it says on the tin. You know, it doesn't provide you with just a one-stop painting solution. So again, once again, speed paints, are they good? Are they bad? Well, they're decent, but they don't do what they're supposed to do. They're not supposed to. They're not providing me with that one solution, that one paint solution. They're basically providing a base coat plus an amount of shading, but not. Again, it's not brilliant. I mean, I have to say that the runic grey is good, very good, no problems whatsoever. The holy white is not as good on these models as it was when I was doing that the spider base with the egg sacs, and all the other colours, meh. The slaughter red does give a very good blood finish, but it's very dark. It is very, very dark. I was kind of umming and ahhing whether to use slaughter red or the blood red. I went with slaughter red because I thought dark would be better for this style of miniature, but I don't know whether I'm regretting that decision and I should have gone for the blood red instead. But anywho, this is the work in progress. This is what it looks like with just the speed paints. Nowhere near finished, despite what it says on the box. So yeah, I'll try to get these done. Okay, I have applied some highlights to these models after the speed paints just didn't do enough. I'm still not fully happy with the figures, but they're good enough for tabletop quality. I think they're good enough to show off on camera, so I'm done. I've got too much more to paint to spend too much more on these guys. But so these are the Vermilach vampires from Archvillain Games. So I've printed out 2 of these Vermilachs. There's 4 different designs, but I printed out 2. So the first one, if we can grab a hold of the base without damaging it. Okay, that's a bit better. So, like I say, I had to do some highlighting on the red, on the bats, the flesh. I mean, even the metallics. I did a little bit of layering on the metallics. I didn't touch the base. I didn't touch the black for the robes. I didn't touch the leather for the straps. So the grim black, was it grim black? The hardened leather and the runic grey, I actually didn't have to highlight. They sort of came out okay. Get back in focus, there you go. So it's a really nice model, really nice figure. The supports are a pain to remove, obviously, but it's really, really nice, a really nice model. So this is one that I kind of did because I kind of just like the model. The other one that I did, I actually have plans for in a game. So this one's like a bald-headed guy with a bit of hair, doing the whole long-haired monk thing going on. So yeah, again, I had to highlight the bats, the flesh, the red. But yeah, it's come out really nice. Even the white chest plate, I had to, come on, focus. I had to highlight the white and the back for the chest plate because the holy white wasn't giving enough contrast. It just looked grey, which is a bit strange because when I did those spider bases, the holy white was amazing, but this time it was just very grey. I don't know whether I shook it enough, maybe. So these I had to basically highlight and pick out the details in white for the back and the front of the, come on, chest plate. Yeah. But I'm like I say, I think I could, come on, focus. I think I could do more for these figures to sort of bring them up to a higher standard. But these are fine for the games I have planned. They're not meant to be contest winning or sort of to the same level as some of the YouTuber painters. I'm not that good, but these are good enough for my table. So these 2 vampires with their pillars of bats are done. Very nice models. The set, the Bloodright Scarlet Scourge has a lot of different miniatures. It's well worth getting. It's got an amazing sort of centerpiece, the big guy, Cain. I'm not sure whether I'll actually print that one out. It may be a little bit too big.